All right, we're about 1 minute in, so we'll start the stream. Hello, everybody. Lawrence here, suck back again. I don't know whether I have good news for you or bad news for you. Okay, here's the thing. All we have left to do is install the fuel injectors, reinstall the air intake manifold, reinstall the cold air intake, and that's it. We're done, right? However, we have to clean all these holes. We have to clean this part up, install everything. Hopefully, I remember the way things go. We'll put it all back together. And there's a lot of connectors and a lot of bolts. So on paper, this is very easy, but in practice, this could end up taking a long time for us to do, okay? So that out of the way, I guess we'll get started. I had previously plugged up the little holes for the fuel injectors, 6 in total. I have the fuel injectors right here. What we will do is we will unplug each hole, soak a paper towel in brake cleaner, clean out that area of that hole, and maybe I can get like a little bit of motor oil and we'll lubricate the seals on the fuel injectors and plug them in. You know what? It may be better. How do I want to do this? Do I want to put the injectors into the rail and then push the whole rail down? Or do I want to plug the injector? You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll put each injector in and then sit the rail on top. I think that will be the play. Let's try it out. Let's see how we do. All right. Let me get us a clean paper towel. All right. Let me find, here's the brake parts cleaner. Not a whole lot left in this can. I'm hoping we have enough. Just gonna hit this paper towel with this stuff. And we will pull out this. And you can see we've initially wiped it down a little bit, but I want to clean it up better than this. We'll just sort of jam our finger in there and give it a good clean. And I think a whole bunch of schmutz just fell in there, but whatever. It'll get combusted and spat out, I think. So we'll be all right. Not the end of the world. Little bits of gunk and whatnot. Will just get chewed up and spat out in theory. Right. We have here our first fuel injector. And instead of just slapping them in there dry, I think what I will do is I will open up a quart of motor oil and I will gently coat the O-rings on these with the motor oil. Now, here's the thing. When you use the motor oil, I guess just take a minute and think about what you're using it on, right? Because sometimes motor oil, like in this application, I mean, it's on a combustion engine on a fuel injector. I don't think motor oil will hurt anybody or anything. But you always want to think about it because I think motor oil can ruin some plastics or so I've heard. For these O-rings, I think we should be fine. So let me open up our motor oil. And hopefully this is the one without the wrapping over the hole. Okay, and it's not. We're in good shape. And let me put the motor oil on the floor, I guess. Let me pull our fuel injector out of the box. All right, and here's our fuel injector. I believe the green side is what goes in. Gee, if I could get this off. Come on. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the side that goes in the car. I think on this side it was facing this way, and on the other side it was facing this way. So, yeah, let me go ahead. And I'll keep the protective cap on the blue side, but for the green side, yes, I will remove it. I will just dip my finger in this motor oil. And I mean like a little droplet. And I will just put it on like, oh, you can't even see. Here, let me move my hands. Yeah, and I'm really just coating that ring to just help it sort of slide in there. It seems to be a pretty tight fit. Gee, here's the thing. We did this like a week or 2 weeks ago, or a while ago, it feels like. I don't quite remember how this goes. Do I just force it in? Is there a point at which it stops? You know, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. I just shoved it in there. So there's that. And let's keep that cap on for now. I'm just gonna go by and clean up all that I can. And prepare our next piece of paper towel. Da, 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 da. Right. Whoops. Good thing this stuff evaporates quickly. I've accidentally spilled some, or splashed some, I should say. This one next. Pull that out. Pretty nasty. I'm just very patiently going in, cleaning, nothing crazy, nothing too hectic. This stage so far feels rather therapeutic actually, which is nice. I'm hoping I don't run out of brake clean. I feel like I've almost used up the whole can doing this. Just keep cleaning, just keep cleaning, just keep cleaning. Seems to be as good as it will get. Let me just try with a fresh piece here while I can. Seems I can do a little bit better. So I shall try. It's like cleaning some gunk from deeper down. I don't know if I need to per se, but the more I scrub, the more stuff I'm pulling from like the inside to the outside. If that makes sense at all. Alright, maybe now it won't be too bad. Come on. Maybe that'll be alright. Get our next fuel injector. Here it is. We'll take it. It's inside there, I promise. Okay, here we are. And we'll pull the cover off the green ring. There we go. Come on. And just like with the other one, I will take a little smidge, a little droplet of oil, and I will put it on that green ring. Here it is. And there we go. There. I don't even know if you guys saw that, but I put oil on it. And we will take this and we will just force it down. Yep, there it is. And that's seated nice and solidly. 1, 2. Only one more on that side. Let's see if I can move this a little bit further out of the way. I can. Good. This one was filthy. And are you guys able to see where did this come from? Oh, barely. Let me move you guys just a little bit. And hopefully I don't bump you out of the way by accident. Right. Paper towel. Some brake clean. And we clean the grime out of the hole. And I actually might bump you guys. I'm sorry if I do. Try to do this without it. Oh, maybe we'll be all right. Still just cleaning. We're trying to give that green O-ring the best fighting chance that we could give it. That's why we're going through the effort. Try and jam that down there and sort of clean as best as we can. Looks good, I think. Let's get the next fuel injector. Here we are. Same thing. We'll keep the cap on the blue. We'll remove the cap on the green. We'll get a droplet, or like half a droplet, like a small amount. Motor oil. This is probably too much, but we'll just gently just touch that O-ring. Yep, like so. Clean my finger off on a paper towel so I don't just get like oil everywhere for no reason. And we put it in and just sort of forcefully push it in place. There it goes. That one was smooth. All right. All right. All right. That's 1, 2, 3 of them. 3 more to go. And that will be these 3. Let me tighten this part here on the phone to hold you guys in place. There we go. Good. Yep. 3 more. Let's see. It's a little bit easier to do with my right hand. To do that, I have to move you guys a little bit away. I'm sorry. Hopefully you're still able to see sort of what I'm doing. I'm just putting my hand in here and cleaning. A little bit around the edges. Somehow I feel like this side is a little bit more claustrophobic than that side. It might be because this wiring harness is a little bit in the way, unfortunately. Makes our lives a little bit more difficult. Nothing crazy though. Nothing like awful. Still just cleaning. I don't want to call it an intensive process because it's not like difficult or anything. It's just a little bit time consuming, right? Just I see some carbon deposits down in there, and I just want to try and clear them if I can help it. That's all. I'm on the last three here. And the good news is, the other side, the fuel rail itself, since that only ever had fuel in it, that's going to be clean. So I can just pull the little papers off the fuel rail and I can just slap it right on, right? That shouldn't be a problem when we get there. These, I do just want to clean up a little bit. I think that's as good as we're going to get that one. Grab another injector here. Here we are. This is the fourth injector unboxing experience in one episode. And we're ripping off the green cap here, or for the green O-ring that is. And once more, we're getting the tiniest drop of oil on our finger. We coat the green O-ring with that thin little droplet of oil, just to help it go in place. And you all noticed, I think, that the connectors were pointing this way on this side. So on this side, I believe they point this way, if I remember correctly. If not, I guess we can always twist them around. It's not the end of the world, right? But let's drop that in, push down, and it just sort of falls right into place. Splendid. Two more to go. Okay. Next one. Rip the paper out. There we go. Yep. Just doing the cleaning thing. And these are like the last two that we're working on over here, so we're nearly finished. And I think, although you all might not necessarily see the area that I'm cleaning, I think you guys can see this rag going in and out, and you guys can see how soiled this rag is after I pull it out of that area. Let's see. Just oh, that may be as good as we can get it, I think. All right. Yeah, throw this out. Grab a new fuel injector. Here it is. Unboxing the fifth one here. I'm treating you all well this episode, it seems. Well, last episode I guess was a little bit better because we did spark plugs and the what's it called? The coils. Same deal with this injector. We're just gonna get a little bit of oil, put it on our fingers, that kind of type of deal. Here we are. And all I really want to do is just coat that O-ring. Nothing too crazy. And we will take it and drop it right in place here. And we just push down. And it just sort of falls into place. Nice. It's actually a pretty satisfying feeling. I actually quite like it. All right. And that leaves our last one. Just one more to go. How exciting. I've also torn a new hole in my glove, so before I pour oil, I have to remember to change gloves. Otherwise, I'm just going to have oily hands. Right. The last one. We take our paper towel soaked in brake clean fluid, brake cleaner, brake clean fluid, brake clean, whatever you'd like to call it. One fluid, many names. And we go in and we clean off the yucky mucky stuff. Bum, bum, bum. Now, given that it's like at the very back there, it's a little bit of an uncomfortable angle to get to. It is a little bit hard. A little bit uncomfortable, I guess, would be a more appropriate term. Dun, 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 dun. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Gross. Nasty deposits. All right, let me get a fresh piece of paper towel. Again, we soak it in brake clean. And we stick it back in there. The more we try to clean it, the more we end up cleaning. Well, I mean, duh, but like, you'd think at some point we would have finally. It would finally start calming down a little bit, you would think. This one was just particularly dirty, I guess. I think that'll do. Like I said, I have to change my gloves before dipping my fingers in oil. So I will go ahead and change gloves. One moment, please. And I will set my microphone here so that you guys know I am away and will be returning shortly. All right. I've got the fresh glove. Let's do this. Unbox the last fuel injector. There it is. Nice. Same thing. I'm just going to go over, grab a droplet of oil. Yes, I have retrieved oil. Good. Walk back to the camera. Here I am, putting oil on the O-ring. There we go. And I will go ahead and just drop that into place. Push down from the top and just flump. It just kind of squishes into place. I like it. A nice feeling. All right. Now that I've finished using the oil, let me close the jug before I kick it over. With my luck, I know I would. All right, and let me set it away. Put it away here. Good. Let's see. Right, so those are all the fuel injectors. The fuel rail gets installed. And I believe these are the bolts. Well, you guys can't see that. These are the holes for the bolts where the fuel rail goes, I think. I'm trying to see whether or not... You know what, let's keep these papers in place and let's try to put the fuel rail on. Before we put the fuel rail on, though, we should go ahead and connect all of these connectors. So let's go ahead. Start plugging these in. Let's see. These may be unidirectional. How do they go on? Like this? Yes, and then you push the tab down. Okay, got it. Clicks in place, you push the red tab down. And I guess turn it over a little bit to loosen the stresses on the fuel injector here. Put the clip on. Clicks in place, drop the connector. And there you go. Don't you just love it when things fall into place? All right, let's start from the back and work our way to the front on this side. Now let me angle this one a little bit this way. Okay, this one, drop it on. I heard the click. I dropped the red connector. Very good. Two more. Let me angle this way. Heard it click. Dropped the red safety tab. Good. And last but not least, let me angle this way. And we drop our connector. I hear it click. And then I push down the red safety tab. All right, that's all of our fuel injectors in and connected. Now, this fuel rail. I am a little bit nervous, right? Because this fuel rail has been in an engine and has been heat cycled, turned on, turned off, heated up, cooled down so many times that this was the first time that I've really moved around all of these hoses and whatnot. I'm hoping I didn't break anything, I guess. Anyway, we will take the fuel rail out of its protective bag. We will pull all of these caps off. Trying not to get any debris into the tops of these fuel injectors, because that would make me very sad. As a matter of fact, when I push them down, I will use a piece of paper towel to make sure they are down. Easy. So that's the 3 on this side. And maybe I should actually open up the oil jug again. I know I said we won't need it, but it looks like we just might. I failed to consider the other side of these fuel injectors when I said that. Let's work from the back to the front here. Pull this off, pull this off, pull this off. All right. We take a clean side of our paper towel here that has no debris on it. Make sure these are pushed down. All right. They are all, in fact, pushed down. Good. Let's oil up these O-rings a little bit. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit of oil to assist them with their entry into the fuel rail. That will be happening shortly. It doesn't look like I have oil on my finger, I know, but the idea is I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to accidentally drop oil. Maybe you can see that this is getting shinier, right? But I don't want to drop oil down the actual injector itself, because only fuel goes down the fuel injector, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever would have known? But that's why I'm trying to not get the stuff in there, only on the O-ring. Now, if a little bit did get inside, it's probably not the end of the world. But if it can be helped, I would like to avoid it. That's all. All right, that's the O-rings oiled up. Close this oil jug, this time for the last time. Hopefully. Let me clean off my hands here a little bit so I'm not covered in slippery oil. Right, let me pull the papers off our fuel rail. That one was stuck in there pretty good. Right, now we have to take this rail. I struggle to remember how it went. Did it turn this way? Yes, okay. I don't want to put any undue stresses on the actual hose that's on the back of this. So that's why I'm trying to be as careful as possible. Now, it looks like we're just about lined up. So I'm going to start gently working my way around, pushing the fuel rail onto the injectors. Looks like we've already done that. So I push down a little bit harder, I guess. I will try. Yes. Two. Well, the first two went down really solidly. But of course, there's these. What is inhibiting my movement here? This is down. I feel like I'm catching on something. Hold on just a moment. What is giving me problems here? Something feels like it's not quite fitting into place here. I can't quite figure out what though. This is on, this is on, this is on. Maybe we're good. Maybe I just didn't realize that everything already got seated. Hmm. Okay, I see this is correct. Maybe we're doing all right. Perhaps it's just my imagination. Okay, so here comes the next part. We have these funny looking clips, right? So the back, which is flat, aligns with a flat side on the fuel rail here. And these ears, they flare up, I guess. Those are oriented upwards. And then these empty slats, I think, ride on the metal of the metal lip of the fuel rail. So let's give that a try, see how that fits on there. All right, I mean, perhaps not too difficult, but we're going to spend a little bit of time here, I suspect. Whoops. So for those of you watching, I hope that you can give me a little bit of your patience as I try to wrestle these connectors on. Well, not connectors, they're like retaining pins, I guess you could call them. How on earth am I supposed to get this? Let's see. Should not be too difficult. Come on. Oh, okay. Progress has been made. Is that on correctly? Hmm. I don't know about that. Right. It was smooth sailing, but now I don't quite remember how these retainers were on there. That's gonna be tricky for me. Let's try this again. Maybe if I could compare it to an old injector here. Let's see. So here's an old injector. Okay, I think I understand. Then, oh, okay, and then, is that right? Like, sure, okay, that makes sense. But then how is this holding on to the actual fuel rail? That's what I'm not so sure if I understand. Hmm. Well, let's just see how it fits on there then. If I aim for that portion of the fuel injector, how does that work out for us? Hmm. Oh my. Let's see. Okay, that seems, well, it fit over the injector. It sits flush with this little square end. But again, what is this metal clip supposed to be holding on to, really? Let me see. Maybe the Haynes manual might have some instruction. Let me check that out before I mess with this further. Let's see here. Chapter 1 is tune up and routine maintenance. I don't think fuel injectors will be on here. Yeah, I don't think so. So maybe, okay, so let's try chapter 2B for the 3.5 liter V6 engine. If that doesn't have it, then chapter 4 is fuel and exhaust systems. So we'll try 2B. All right, here's 2B, fuel injectors. Okay, let me go to section 4. Here we are. Section 4. Fuel rail and injectors, removal and installation. Section 13. Here we are, 13. Using a screwdriver or pliers, remove the injector retaining clip. Here's the injector retaining clip. You'll need to obtain a special fuel line disconnection tool available at auto parts stores or from automotive tool manufacturers to disconnect the metal collar type fitting that connects the fuel supply line to the fuel rail. Fuel supply line to. Oh, I see. They're talking about the hose. Okay. Disconnect the cable, electrical connector, intake manifold, fuel supply line, electrical connectors, clean any debris. Remove the fuel rail mounting bolts. Gently rock the fuel rail to loosen the injectors and remove the fuel rail as a single assembly. Remove the fuel injectors from the fuel rail. Then remove and discard the O-rings. Coat the new O-rings in clean engine oil and install. So they recommend the same thing. Then the injector bores. Guide the injector fuel rail assembly into the injector bores and the intake manifold. Make sure the injectors are fully seated. Then tighten the fuel rail mounting bolts. Okay, so I think what they're saying is put the injectors on the rail and then drop all of that in, rather than putting the injectors in the engine and then dropping that in. That kind of makes sense here. And then they have a figure here for injector installation details. Let's see. A is the flat part of the retainer, which is opposite of the electrical connector. The little ear is facing the upward side. Okay, C, slots in retainer will engage with. D is semicircular flanges when injector is pushed into pipe. What? Uh, I think these injectors are supposed to be pushed in deeper, actually, into the fuel rail. Okay. Okay, we will try. We will try. Let's see here. Okay. Let's take this out because I believe this is incorrectly installed. Grab that clip. There we go. Apparently this gets pushed even deeper. What on earth? Okay. Okay. I suspect we need to redo things a little bit here. Which is unfortunate, but we'll try. Maybe the way the Haynes manual is doing it makes this process a lot easier. So yes, let me go ahead, unhook all of these red tabs, and let me back up one step here. Let me take off all of the connectors. Let me pull the fuel rail out, and what we will do is we will put the injectors into the fuel rail first, and then drop everything into the engine. I think we've done it backwards, and I think that made it a little bit more difficult for us, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's one connector. But fortunately, this doesn't look like it's going to be too big of a deal here. I think we'll get this straightened out relatively quickly, actually. Yeah, I think we'll get this fixed quick, folks. Don't worry. Don't worry. Right. Whoops. Not ideal. All right, let's pull the fuel rail off and just drop it to the side for now. I think this touched some dirty engine bits, but we're looking good. Okay, no problem. Everything is under control. Ooh, and I still got some fuel out of that. Nice. I like the smell of fuel. Anyways, let's see what we can do here. Right, so let's just start with the one for now, right? Let's take off this one injector. Take off the connector. Okay, so we can just shove that in, right? You know what? I do think that's a lot better, actually. Are you guys? No, you don't see it on camera. Let me fix that for you. When we put them on this way, I think they actually go deeper into the rail, and they're much easier to work with. I'm guessing maybe there's some kind of air pressure in that rail, so when we put all in at the same time, it doesn't seem to work too great. But this looks fine. And there's like a little ridge on the injector for this tab to slide into. It seems. If I can aim it. Come on. A little finicky. Yes. There we go. That's better. That's better. but still not quite right. Let's see what I can do. Kind of difficult. Kind of difficult, honestly. There we go. Take this clip off and try again. Almost had it, but let's see. So this, oh, anyway, this bottom portion is supposed to hook onto the fuel injector, and then these slots, I think, are supposed to hold on to this metal side here, and then this back is supposed to be flush with this metal back. I think that's the way it seems. So I'm just gonna. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Okay, not bad. Now I do have to keep this from making a mess. So, did I throw any plastic caps in here? Yes, good. And this really is to just protect that injector while I put the rest on. Okay. So that's just what I have to do for all of them. One by one. Just sort of, there we go, take this off. Pull this electrical connector off. Pull this rail up. Squish that in place. Gently set the rail down so that I can turn my back to it for 1 second. All right, next clip. Will it be just as effortless? Come on. Yes. Okay, yeah, putting them on this way is actually a lot easier. Nice. And of course, before we put these back in, I'm gonna try and clean these O-rings. I do have just a little bit of stuff on there, I guess. So we will clean them one more time before putting them in. I'm sorry, folks. But this is the way. Looking through my garbage bag here for those plastic caps. Here's a couple. 1, 2, and I think I saw a third one in there. 3. And well, I had 3, and then I dropped one back in there because I'm a genius. There it is. 3. This will do for now. Pull 3 little caps back out of the garbage. Right. Pull this back out. Disconnect from the electrical connector. Connect back to the fuel rail. It's a tight fit there, but we got it. And then before I even do anything with this one, I'm just going to throw the cap right on so that I can actually lean it back down. Right, we grab another retaining clip. We take aim. And we push. And we missed. Try again. Line up, aim, and push. And we got it. Second time's the charm. Good. All right, that's one side. Good. Very good. See, this is, I guess, how it is when you learn as you move along. For those of us who are just joining, what happened here was I put the injectors in first, and then I tried to put the fuel rail on, and it just didn't fit. And I couldn't get these retaining clips on. But now that I've sort of backed up and I'm doing it this way, this is actually a lot easier. And I suspect it's going to be much easier to drop them in place too. So I'm gonna yank this out of here. Whoops, spill fuel everywhere, of course. Take the electrical connector off. I'll automatically fit our little plastic cap on. Let's see. And we'll take this, drop it in there. We grab another retaining clip. Now here is where it may get a little bit difficult for me. These are oriented the other way now, so it's a little bit difficult for me to aim and line them up, but we will try. Oh, nope, see? I'm glad I caught that because that was upside down. Turn it this way. Now we try again. Oh, that actually worked out well. And that does its job at retaining. Good. Another. Pull it out. Come on, nice and easy. There we go. Pull that out. Do. That's a pretty snug fit. Ooh, I actually have some comments here and I haven't noticed. I'm sorry, guys. One Sean Bond says, nice to see this is being streamed live. Are you upgrading the injectors? Oh, it's a long story. I wouldn't call them an upgrade. I'd call it a replacement. So what happened was this entire series that's being streamed live right now, it all started because I wanted to change the spark plugs because the engine was misfiring and stalling, right? When I removed the air intake, the coils were bad. I saw that I guess the injectors were leaking. While I had the coils, spark plugs, fuel rail, and injectors out, I figured I might as well as take off the valve cover and replace the gaskets. So I am replacing all of the injectors. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. So that's what's happening here. I've just it's like this whole top part of the engine here is being rebuilt. Hard to call it an actual rebuild because that involves like piston rings and whatnot. But yeah, like we've changed. You know what? Let me show you how much we've changed out. All of this. 6 spark plugs, 6 fuel injectors, 6 ignition coils, spark plug well gaskets, PCV valve, valve cover gaskets, and the EGR and EGR valve gaskets. And that's why it took us like, what is this, episode 10, episode 11? It took us a couple of episodes to get here. It's been a crazy experience. But it seems to be smooth sailing now. And just moving forward, just so that everybody knows, I am recording this on a cell phone. So the screen is kind of on one side, the camera is on the other, and I'm sort of working on that side right now. So when you guys comment, if I miss the comments, I hope you can all forgive me. Right, let's go back. Line this up. Oh, nope, it's crooked. There. And still feel like that's crooked. Come on. Did I get it? Wait. Oh. Yes. Yes, I got it. Okay, good. One more. The last one. Get this out of the way. Pull this up. Okay, we're still looking all right and clean there. I think that's the one that touched dirty stuff, but if you look at the injectors, they should be fine. Slammed my head into the work light. Oops. Fix that. Okay, I think that's fixed. Put this back in. There we go. Yeah, I think this is much easier doing it this way than how I originally had it. Oops, this goes like so. Okay. Last clip. Line it up. Hard to see, but there we go. That one was easier than the rest of them, it seems. Right. Let me get all of these electrical connectors out of the way, because all they will do at this point is get in our way. Da 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 da. La di da di da. All right. Sometimes it turns out the Haynes manual is right. Who would have thought? Okay, good. Now, that oil jug that I put away for the second time already, I'm going to bring it back. Open it up, wet my fingers with some oil. Well, I guess I could remove these caps now. This, 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 this one too, I suppose. And this last one, I think that cap fell on the floor. Let me get that. Yeah, it did. I can leave it for now. That's fine. Right. So what I'm going to do now is, for like the 20th time, I'm going to dip my finger in oil. And this time, not only am I oiling up these gaskets, but I'm also just kind of, there's like some like grit on it. I guess I'll just rub it off. Try and make a nice and good seal here. Some like grittiness to it. All right, let me lift this up. Let me remove the last cap. I still have some oil. Good. Okay, I think we're ready to retry again. Let me just put the cap on the oil. Knowing me, I will bump into it. If I don't, But now that I put the cap on it, it's like, oh, well, that was a waste of time. Anyway, this fuel rail, I lift it up, and as one assembly, we drop it into place. And I'm just trying to be careful not to, I guess, pollute the ends of these fuel injectors. It's a little bit easier said than done, but I think we're in good shape. Okay, good, 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 very good. Let's see. Now, I guess might be a good time to put those connectors back on. Just basically slap them in place real quick. We'll push till we hear a click, and then we will drop that red plastic safety tab until we hear another click of its own. So it's like click and click when we put these things in. Click and click. Move to the other side here. Same deal. And let's go from the back and work towards the front. That'll just be a little bit easier for me here. So we go here. Let's see. How do I do this without seeing? Let's see. Think this way. Can't see. Gonna do this by feel, I guess. Click 1. And I think that was click 2. Go back down here. And shoot, I can't see again. So I'm going by feel. Click 1, click 2. Last one. Click 1 and click 2. All right. Now we just make sure these papers aren't in the way. They are not. And we just gently and evenly push these into place, I guess. Let's see how that works out for us, if at all. Whoops. That wasn't terrible, I think. Let's see. Seems to be seated correctly. Oops. Perhaps not. Let's see. Why does this not appear to be correct? Or maybe now it is. Maybe now it's just my imagination. I believe these are all properly seated. I think so. Okay. We have our big old bolts that we have to drop in there. 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. Let me count to verify that these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, they are. All right, let me bring out the anti-seize. We will put anti-seize on everything that we can anyway, or where it makes sense to do it. We have anti-seize, and we will just do something like this. Whoops. Drop it here, here. I realize you guys can't really see, but let's see. Yeah, the idea is really, I don't think the top part of this thread, the top part of this bolt doesn't necessarily matter so much, I suppose, because it's gonna pass through that plate of that like fuel rail, I guess. So really it's the bottom ones that we care about. And I'm not necessarily going to massacre these with the anti-seize. I think a little bit will go a long way here. Nothing crazy. We'll take our first bolt and we will drop it in the back here. And just get it started a little bit by hand. All right, let's move on to the next one. Whoops, I dropped you guys. I'm sorry. I saved you though. But I also did drop you, yes. Forgive me. All right, we are back. A couple more bolts here. Like 3 bolts left to go. Same deal. Just put some anti-seize. Nothing insane. As a matter of fact, this is probably a lot. Somebody left a comment and I missed it. Let me check it out. Don't forget to check your brake fluid while you're in there. That really hurt. Oh, wife unit, hello. You are watching me. I love the 300 platform. I have a few I have been working on. They are finished. If you like, I have a few videos on them. Yeah, I'll check them out. I'll visit your channel later. I think it's called the LX platform. The Chrysler 300, Dodge Magnum, and Dodge Charger. And you know what? I actually like the layout. I find it kind of easy to work with, honestly. It's a good platform. Probably one of the better things to ever come out of Daimler Chrysler Corporation when Mercedes and Chrysler joined forces. Right, that's 2 bolts. 2 more to go. Some more of this anti-seize. Again, just a little bit. You know, with the spark plugs, we really cared, right? But with these, I feel like we can be a little bit haphazard. I mean, we still have like 99.99% coated. Like what? I missed like 3 threads. It's all right. No biggie. All right. So that's this one where it needs to go in. All right, so that leaves just one more. Here we are. Again, just sort of haphazardly spread it around. Not a care in the world. La-di-da-di-da. That should do. Right. I put one here. Ah, here. Here's where this one lives. Right there. Okay. Now, if I recall, well, first off, let me put the anti-seize away because this is a weapon of mass destruction. This, we'll put it away. Yeah, it's like with the anti-seize, it's one moment you're fine, the next you've become sober. All of you has become sober, head to toe, clothes and all. Just let me clean this off as best as I can. And I believe what we have here is a 10 millimeter socket. So let me get this set up. At least I think it was 10 millimeters. Let me see. These look a little bit large. These might have been 12s, actually. And I do, in fact, believe these were 12s. Or maybe 13s. Let me try a 13 really quick, because that's what I just had laying around. Okay, they were a 13. I don't know what I was saying. You know what? I have an even better idea. I'll bring my Makita, and what I will do is I will tighten these down, well, until they get vaguely, yep, until I hear that electric motor start to whine a little bit harder. That's when I will let off on it. Yep. Let's see. Here's one. And what this does is it just saves me a lot of work by hand. That's all. All right. And now I will actually get the torque wrench. And I believe the torque specification for this was 21 foot-pounds. Before I ruin my car, though, let me just check real quick. So I will whip out the Haynes manual. Come on, I probably shouldn't have moved the camera, but at the same time, I like showing you guys what I'm looking at. All right. Table of contents, chapter 4 was the stuff with the fuel rail, if I recall. They don't really give us a lot of information here. They say fuel pressure 53 to 63 psi, throttle body mounting bolts 105 inch-pounds. Nothing about the bolts for the fuel rail. Let me see. Maybe they'll say it in section 13, perhaps. Guide the injectors, fuel rail assembly to injector bores on the intake manifold. Make sure the injectors are fully seated, then tighten the fuel rail mounting bolts securely. The remainder of installation is the reverse of removal. After installing the fuel rail and injectors, turn the ignition switch to on, but don't operate the starter. This activates the fuel pump for about 2 seconds, which builds up fuel pressure in the fuel lines and the fuel rail. Repeat this step 2 or 3 times. Then check the fuel lines, fuel rail, and injectors for fuel leakage. Okay, we're going to have to remember that for now. But it also looks like they don't give us a torque specification, so I'm just going to tighten these. I think I've heard another... I think I've heard somewhere say 21 foot-pounds. So we will tighten to 21 foot-pounds. Let me get an extension. Right. Getting back to business. $20, $21, and you know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's do 21 and a half. All right. I just feel like it. And let's start from the center and work our way out. So 1, 2. No real nice way of doing it. I guess we'll just whatever, just go with it, right? Yep, there we go. That's the first one. Second one. I guess I'll go here and then get the one in the back. At least we've started from the center and worked our way out. So I think that's what's probably the most important in all of that. All right, and we move to the back then. It's just not too comfortable of a way to reach for this without hurting myself, but well, my knees and whatnot, but that's all right. We'll just make do. All right, that's 4 of them, I think. So let's just go over them one more time, as we always do. That's the one. Okay, come on, fit over it. Why don't you? That's 2, 3, 4. And this one was really weird. Let me try one more time. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. All right, here's the thing. I've just gotten the 20% battery warning. So what we will try and do today is we will remove these paper towels. We will clean up the surface here. We will clean up the corresponding surface to this on the intake manifold. And we will replace the gasket. And then tomorrow, all that's left tomorrow is putting the intake manifold on and putting all the bolts and connectors on. And that's it. We're done. So, well, oh yeah, and we got to put the air intake in. But that should be cakewalk, easy. So let's get to cleaning, and that will pretty much finish off our episode for today. We clean. All right, let's take this out. What's the damage? And I will just set these aside because for the night, I will plug these holes back up. So I will take them out and I'm just going to set them aside over here. That's 3 out of 6. 4, 5, and 6. There we are. All right, this looks kind of filthy actually, so we've got our work cut out for us. I think we'll just do what we've been doing really, where we take a paper towel, hold it over a couple of times, spray it down with the brake cleaner, and we'll just wipe down the surface by hand. No crazy tools or anything, just brake clean and cleaning by hand. Oh, or I guess you could say brake clean and elbow grease. Am I right? Actually, see how there's like sand or gunk over here? Let me. Well, I want to trying to decide whether I should run through it with the Makita. You know what? Yeah, I see like little loose debris. Let me grab the Makita. And since I'm going to be using a vacuum cleaner, I'm going to leave my microphone on the other side of the garage here. So it might be noisy, but it'll be a little bit less noisy, I hope. So I'm just going to set you guys, well, the microphone down for a little bit. Get the vacuum and walk over. Yar. Deal. All right. So what that's done for us is it has gotten rid of the loose stuff that just sort of is above those holes waiting for us to push it in. So now we can sort of work with a little bit more peace of mind, I guess. There we are. And we scrub. We're going to be here for a small while, it seems, while we work this out. I worry we're beginning to run dangerously low on brake clean. I'm hoping we have just enough to finish our work here. Because if I have to buy a whole new can of brake clean at this point, I'm only going to use it a very little bit and then keep it on the shelf for whoever knows how long. That part is kind of dirty. We're just going to keep cleaning. Nice and easy. With patience. In the case of the the valve covers, in the case of the valve covers, we only had to clean off that little strip where the gasket would go, and that was for the most part already clean. In this case, you see these black squares? I suspect either the gasket goes on these squares or goes like just in between. So with the valve covers, although we got away with just cleaning although we just got away with cleaning a little thin strip for the gasket on the valve covers, over here I think we're going to have to work a little bit harder, unfortunately. And I just got a 10% battery warning, so we might not even be able to finish this for the night, I'm afraid. I'll try, but usually when I get the 10% battery warning, I have maybe 15 minutes left. And I think you guys can gauge for yourselves that this is probably going to take a little bit longer than that. Some of these don't look too bad, and then some of these look like over here. This looks kind of good. Like if the gasket goes in between the squares, that should be fine. Over here looks even better. But over here, for example, this is Kind of disgusting, honestly. Perhaps if I'm a little bit hesitant to use the brake clean too much because I don't want it to flow down into the holes. But at the same time, maybe if I'm a little bit more generous with the brake clean, perhaps it'll help me break down these nasty deposits here. But doesn't seem to be doing too well. And I think we've established that brake clean works a lot better than carb cleaner for this sort of stuff. So we will keep trying the brake clean. Mm-hmm. It's already looking a little bit better than it was before, a little bit more shinier, but there is room for improvement. And this can of brake clean is sounding a little bit light. You know what? Let me try the carb cleaner. I will try it. But I've got like a full can of carb cleaner, and it claims to be good for dissolving gum, varnish, sludge, grease, dirt, and carbon deposits, right? This is kind of a little bit of a mix between grease and carbon deposit, so let's try it. Although I suspect it's going to be like the valve covers, where this just does nothing for us. Yeah, no, this is nothing interesting happens. Though I do like the smell, it reminds me of the like modeling cement you would use when you built the little models of airplanes and boats and ships as a child. You have these enamel paints and you have this modeling cement. Yeah, carb cleaner ain't doing it. Brake cleaner much better. Just out of curiosity, let me bring the gasket. How would this fit on there? Let's see. Oh, you know what? Perhaps that's not such a wise thing because I'm going to lose a small one. I'm going to try and compare it. Maybe I'll just lay them side by side. It looks like the holes for the gaskets are actually you know what? Let me take a small ring out because we don't need it if we're being factual. And let me try and lay it here side by side. It looks like the gasket does in fact sit in between the squares here. So maybe we'll be fine. So let me put this away for now. Okay. My phone battery is probably ready to quit at any second now. So here's what we'll do. We'll cut this off over here for now, tonight. Tomorrow, we will do maybe 1 or 2 more rounds of cleaning this up. We won't take too much time on it because this is already like a lot better than it was before, but just 2 more rounds of cleaning, right? And then we will move on to the upper intake manifold, which is this part over here. We will clean that out. We will replace the gasket. And then all we have to do is take this part, put it on top of the engine, and we are done. That's it. Now, of course, we have to put all the bolts in, we have to put all the connectors in. It's a little bit more involved than just drop it on and be done, but that's the general gist of it, okay? So we're going to wrap up for tonight, but look, we're almost done. We're very close. But this is where we'll leave it for tonight. All right? So let me just sort of drop this gasket component in the car. Before I leave, let me see the comments section if I can pull it up. Top chat. Okay, I think I'm all caught up with the comments. So with that, tomorrow's plan, maybe 1 or 2 more rounds of cleaning, clean up the upper intake manifold, replace that gasket, slap it down. Sheen Bond says, okay, that's cool. Love and peace, cheers. Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. You take care. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, and I hope, fingers crossed, we get to finish up. And then we get to test drive it and see how it runs, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like maybe 1 or 2 episodes left. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.